How can you add a texture to an object in Blender? One way is to use BlenderKit. BlenderKit has lots of textures that you can add to an object. After you install the BlenderKit add-on in Blender, you have this search bar at the top. You can search for objects, materials, scenes, worlds, all kinds of different objects. Right now we're interested in materials. We can click on this and it'll just show us some materials. And there are going to be two different types of materials: image-based texture materials and procedural materials. You can filter by the license. So we want to go ahead and filter by license, royalty-free or Creative Commons 0. Then you can also select texture-based or procedural. Procedural textures are made with the nodes in Blender, and texture-based are made with image textures. Let's set texture-based and select an image for our texture. I'm going to select this texture right here, wood inlaid concrete wall. Once the texture downloads, you'll notice you don't see anything. That's because we need to select Material Preview. If I select Material Preview, then it's going to show the texture. This is an extremely large texture with lots of detail from Polyhaven. Once the texture loads in Material Preview, we can see that the texture is on our cube. This is how you can add a material-based texture in an object with BlenderKit in Blender. Let's take a look at the actual texture. If I click on the Shading tab, we'll see that it has images for each of the different parts of the texture. It has base color image, a roughness image, a displacement image, and a normal image. These are all controlled by a mapping node and a texture coordinate node. This allows you to change the rotation of the texture. If I rotate the texture by 90 degrees in the Y direction, you can see how it lines up with that object. There are many more detailed ways of how to rotate textures, but on most image textures, if you have a texture coordinate node and a mapping node, you can then rotate it. Hopefully this allows you to add an image-based texture to an object in Blender using BlenderKit.